This video is made possible by Napleton Subaru in Schaumburg. If you're looking for a new Subaru product in the Chicagoland area, Napleton Subaru in Schaumburg is the best place to buy. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Limited. Up front is a 2.5 liter flat 4, and down below is a CVT. Now, I'm super excited to be driving this Crosstrek for two reasons. First of all, this is the first year that they've offered it in this color, Sun Blaze Orange, and this has the 2.5 liter. So I do have a review on my channel of a 2024 Crosstrek base model. That only gets the 2 liter. This is the 2.5. There are a fair amount of differences, and so I'm excited to share them with you today. But if you would like to share your vehicle with me and have a video filmed of it here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form, takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 2.5 liter flat 4 under the hood. Well, it is naturally aspirated. There are no turbocharged Crosstreks, and it makes 182 horsepower as opposed to the 2 liter that makes 152 horsepower. So you get a nice 30 horsepower bump when upgrading to the 2.5. I definitely like the drivability of this engine. You do feel that 30 extra horsepower. Is it a night and day difference? No, but you're gonna have a little bit better ability to pass people. You're going to be a little bit happier with it. But if you can only afford the 2 liter, it's still not a bad engine, and it's not going to be the end of the world. Like I said, paired to it is a CVT. All Crosstreks come with CVTs from 2024 model year on. For this generation, they got rid of the manual transmission, unfortunately, so CVT is the only way you could buy it. Last but not least, of course, the Crosstrek is all-wheel drive, and all of them are all-wheel drive. They get Subaru's symmetrical system, which is a very good system in my opinion. I actually recently had the opportunity to drive a Crosstrek Sport off-road, take it through its paces, and it held up incredibly well. So this car definitely earns its stripes on the Shooting Cars YouTube channel for its off-road capabilities. So how does it feel to drive the Crosstrek? Well, it does have that nice added power bump over the 2 liter. That's a big noticeable factor. But other than that, visibility is really good. Steering is light enough, but heavy enough. The road noise isn't terribly loud. However, it is there. You're going to find that across Subaru's entire lineup is that there is more road noise than some of its competitors, but it's not overbearing. And I am very happy with the driving experience. I will probably be in the market for one of these in the next couple of years. My girlfriend has always wanted one, and so driving it today, I think it's a very smart decision for her. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 2 physical gauges and a screen. Off to the left is my tachometer and coolant temperature, and off to the right is my speedometer and fuel. In the center, I do get a little information gauge that I can change around. Here are some of the options, just kind of switching through screens and whatnot. Nothing really too crazy. Most Subarus do this, and I like that they do. On the steering wheel, on the left, I have my skip track, source, information, phone options, and volume. And off to the right, I have my cruise control options as well as drive mode. So this does have adaptive cruise, as well as I can put it into S or I mode. I is going to be less aggressive. S is going to be more sporty. The overall feel of the steering wheel is nice. I really like that they added this orange stitching to it to really reflect that Sun Blaze paint on the outside. And I do have paddle shifters around the back if I would like to shift that CVT manually. However, it is technically fake shifting. Off to the left, I do have a climate control vent and my gauge dimmer switch. That's it. And moving on to the door, we have our power mirrors, power locks and power windows, and a nice little bit of orange stitching as well. I love that little touch. Moving into the center, we do get a giant infotainment screen. Now, this is an upgrade over the base model. The base model gets this weird, cheap split screen. I would highly recommend moving up to this full screen. It just looks visually a lot better and has better functionality. Here's what the backup camera looks like in case you were curious. And I do like the camera system on it. Way better than anything across the table at Toyota. However, I don't love that my climate controls are ran through the screen. I would prefer all physical climate controls, but something that Subaru changed in the last couple of years is that the climate controls actually stay at the bottom no matter what screen you're on. So that is really, really nice, and I'm very happy that they fixed that. Then we do get a USB-C and USB-A outlets down below, a wireless charger, and then we move up to the shifter. The shifter also gets the orange stitching. Again, I love that consistency throughout the interior with the orange stitching, and it looks and feels like every other shifter in Subaru's lineup, which isn't a bad thing. Then we do have our power parking brake and a dead switch, which is a little annoying to see on a Limited, but that's okay. And off to the right, we have our heated seat buttons. They've been using the same buttons since the late 2000s, so they are old friends at this point. Then we do have 2 cup holders, so we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the Subaru Crosstrek Limited from the 2024 model year, and unfortunately it fails. I didn't think it would pass. It's on the cusp of passing, but alas, at the end of the day, it does not. Then we do get a 12-volt outlet and a center console with nothing interesting in it. Then we do have the leather seats, and they receive the orange stitching as well. So again, another spotting of the orange stitching that I really love, and they are pretty comfortable. They're not super aggressive for a big, wide guy like me. I'm fitting in them pretty normally, and so I'm happy to report that. However, speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Limited, and nothing really too crazy back here. I do really love that they give you a USB-C and USB-A charger back here. This is sort of a switchover era right now. We're experiencing a lot of cars going from USB-A to USB-C, and so that's very, very clear here, which is just sort of interesting. The seats themselves are decently comfortable. I do have a center console, 2 cup holders that flip down right there. Other than that, nothing to write home about. I'm 5'11", not a small guy. My knees are not hitting the seat in front of me. My head is not hitting the ceiling, so that is a big win in that category. But let's hop around the very back. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, so we're on the back of the Crosstrek. First of all, I do want to note we get mountains, trees, and waves on this little back part. They did not have to do that, but they did, and I like it. Pop the trunk up with the button, and of course we do have all the floor mats still in their protective casing because this is a brand new vehicle. We get a little light over here, as well as I'm not seeing a 12-volt outlet. I do have a big cup holder over here. Same over here. I'm not seeing a 12-volt outlet, which I really would have liked to have seen in the back of a vehicle sort of designed for camping. I do have this little pull-out privacy cover, which is nice, but so pretty good amount of space. I actually am very, very happy with this. I would go on a week-long trip with all my luggage back here and not fret a bit, and so that is what I look for in the back of a Subaru Crosstrek. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and obviously the first thing you're gonna notice is that sun blaze paint. I love it. And here's what it's replacing. So the outgoing Subaru Crosstrek was also offered in an orange, but it's a little bit different. So if you think it's the same paint color, it's technically not, but you can make your own assumptions from that. Let's do a walk around. It is completely redesigned for the 2024 model year. I talked a lot about this in my base model review that I'll link at the end of this one. And I think it's very handsome. It's still very identifiable as a Crosstrek, but it's interesting and new and fresh. So I think Subaru's styling department did a really, really good job. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the Subaru Crosstrek Limited? Limited is a big factor in that. Well, this isn't a new experience for me, but I have to say that I still enjoy it. I still think the Crosstrek is a very, very good car. 2 reasons for it. First of all, the size. It's not huge, but it's also not a tiny little peanut cruising down the road. I know Subarus are very, very safe, and so I would feel comfortable with a family member or my significant other purchasing one, and I can't say that about every car on the road. I think the Limited has very good features. The only limited option that this vehicle is missing is the built-in navigation, but with Apple CarPlay, that really doesn't matter anymore. And the second reason is that I think it is a very capable SUV. Am I driving through mud ruts every day of the week? No, but I do like going to national parks. And in them, sometimes you have to take a gravel road or a dirt path to get to a specific trailhead. This car is most certainly capable of doing that. This car is going to fit to your lifestyle, not the other way around. And I do think the Limited has a lot of good features above the base model. Most notably, everyone got really mad at the base model review because it didn't have roof rails. Subaru does not give you roof rails at the base level, although they're like $300 to add. So this comes with the roof rails. Do not fret any longer. Don't worry, you'll get your roof rails one way or another, and they're included here at the Limited trim level. Thank God, I guess. At $35,000, I think it's a pretty good deal, and it has great tech, and it's just a great car. I'm gonna keep talking myself in circles before I end this video. It's just really, really a solid car. And having driven 1,200 cars, 1,200 cars here on my YouTube channel, I have a very high threshold for what I would personally spend my own money on, and this is one of them. This is one of the vehicles that I would spend my hard-earned money on without much afterthought, and that's something special. Huge thank you to Napleton Subaru for letting me take out their Subaru Crosstrek. This car was awesome. I really want to get into it to test out not only the new paint color, but a higher trim of the Subaru Crosstrek for 2024. This vehicle is hot, if you couldn't tell by the exterior. And that is all thank you to Napleton Subaru in Schaumburg. They are absolutely awesome, top-class customer service. If you're interested in buying a new Subaru, please go talk to them. They will help you out and get you into the right set of wheels. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.